welcome back. Before the break, we learned about the cosine rule. Let's go and look at how we can apply it to some triangles where we are looking for the length of a side. Okay, in this triangle, we're given ABC with AB equals to 13, AC equals to 4, and A equals to 70. So the first question we always have to ask is, do we have side angle side? Because that's the only way we can use the cos rule. We've got a side, we've got an included angle, and we've got another side. So we have that V pattern that we're looking for, which means we can apply the cosine rule. Now, which version of the cosine rule? Remember, for ABC, for triangle ABC, here are the three versions of the cosine rule. Remember, we're looking for the side BC. So because we're looking for the side BC, it's actually little a. So we want to look for little a, and we're given little c, and we're given little b, and we have angle A. So obviously the one to use is that one, because we have B, we have C, and we have angle A. Let's write that in. So that's the statement we're starting off with. So A squared will equal to little b squared is 4 squared plus C squared is that one, and it's 13 squared minus 2 times 4 times 13, and we've got to start off with the angle that's across from here, and the angle across from little a is this angle here that we're given, the included angle, and it's 70 degrees. Okay, let's punch this into the calculator. So it's 4 squared plus 13 squared minus 2 times 4 times 13 times the cos of our angle, which is 70 degrees. And our calculator brings up an answer of 149,429. And we're not going to round this off right now. Remember, we're looking for the side, the length for A, not A squared. So we need to still find the square root of this answer. So if you go shift, if you just go square root of your last answer, and now you have the value for the length of the side A. So A will now be 12,22 centimeters squared. And remember, they wanted us to find BC, so that's exactly what we found. We found that BC, which is equal to A, is 12,22 centimeters. Okay, I hope you guys managed with that one. Let's try another one quickly. Okay, in this triangle, we have PQR. Again, we have QR equals to 9. We have PQ equals to 4. And we're given the angle in between, so it's 70 degrees. Again, do we have side angle side? Let's double check this again. We've got a side. We've got an included angle. We've got a side. We have that V pattern that we're looking for with our given, which means we can find that side easily. And they do want us to find that side. They want us to find PR correct to 2 decimal places. So, pretty simple. Right, so there's the 3 versions of the cos rule for this triangle here. P squared equals to Q squared plus R squared minus 2QR cos P, and the other 2 versions. So which version are we going to look for? Which version are we going to use? We're looking to find little q. Okay, so we're going to start with that one. Let's make sure, do we have little p? Yes, we do. Do we have little r? Yes, we do. And we've got the side q. So we've got PR and we have q. So that's the version that we're going to use. Okay, so we decided that that's the statement that we're going to start off with. Now we're going to substitute whatever we needed to. So remember, our little p was 9, so we're going to substitute that in. Our side r was 4, so we're going to substitute this in. Minus 2 times 9 times 4 times cos of the angle across from Q. And the angle across from our Q was 70. So it was 70 degrees. Okay, let's bring up our calculator quickly. Okay, so we got 9 squared plus 4 squared minus 2 times 9 times 4 times the cos of our angle, 70 degrees. Put that into the calculator. So that gives us a value for q squared. Remember, even though we have a value for q squared, we were looking for the value for q. So we've got to still find the square root of this. So you cannot round it off at this point. So our value for q squared is roughly that. Let's get our calculator back up here. And now we're going to find the square root of that answer in order to give us q. So the square root of that answer is 8,5073. Remember, again, we're rounding off to 2 decimal places. So we're going to end up with 8,51. And that's the value that we end up with, 8,51. And remember, they asked us to find PR, and PR was our side little q. So therefore, PR is equal to 8,51 units. Okay, I hope you're managing with the cosine rule. Let's do one more just to make sure we definitely know how to use the cosine rule to work out the side, to work out the length of one side of a triangle. Okay. Okay, here's a contextual question. We have a plane that travels 800 meters along a runway before taking off at an angle of 10 degrees. It then travels further 1,000 meters at this angle. That's the angle they're talking about. Calculate the distance of the plane from its starting point, correct to 2 decimal places. So we have our diagram here. Let's go and analyze our diagram. So the plane starts off here. It travels on the runway for 800 meters, and then it takes off at an angle of 10 degrees for 1,000 meters. And they want us to calculate how far the plane is from its starting point. So this is where it is now, and they want us to calculate this side here. So they want us to calculate this side. So if you look at our triangle, this side is little b because it's across from the angle B. Now, one thing to notice is definitely this triangle is not drawn to scale. 10 is a pretty small angle, so this angle should be smaller. But just to make the diagram clearer, we've drawn it like that. Okay, now we're going to decide which rule we're going to use. Do we have one full pair of angles and sides? Let's double check and see if we do. Okay, we've got this side, but we don't have the angle across it. We don't have D. We've got this side, angle A, but we don't have, side A, but we don't have angle A across it. We don't have this. Okay, we've got, we can find B1, we can find this angle here, but we don't have that information. So we don't have one full pair. So we've got to try and see if we can use the cos rule. But before we can get to the cos rule, we know for cos rule you need side, angle, and side. So we've got 2 sides in a V pattern that are sitting like this. Can we find the angle in between? And in this case, definitely we can find the angle in between. And what tool will we use to find the angle in between? Because we have adjacent supplementary angles here, so we can find B1. Okay, let's do that quickly. Okay, so first remember we said we're finding B1. So we first got to tell them what is the value of B1. So B1 will equal to 180 minus 10 degrees, and that will be 70 degrees. Right, now we're going to use the cosine rule in this triangle. So we're going to find little b, because that's the distance that we want. We're going to use little a, and we're going to use little d. Or you can write it as AB and BD, doesn't matter how you write it. So let's say b squared is equal to a squared plus d squared minus 2AD and cos of the angle across from B, so it will have to be angle B. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so now we're going to punch those in quickly. So we're going to say a squared, and our A squared is 1,000 meters, and we're going to square this, okay? And then our D squared is 800 meters, so it's 800 meters squared, okay? And I'm going to just carry on the next line, and let me first get rid of that. Okay, and then we had said minus 2 times A times D, which is 800 meters, and then we still got to multiply it by cos of our angle, and our angle was what? Oh, sorry, apologies, it's supposed to be 170. I written that incorrectly. It was 170 because it was adjacent supplementary angles. Okay, let's put this into the calculator quickly. Let's bring up our calculator. Okay, so this is easy. It's going to be 1,000 squared plus 800 squared minus 2 times 1,000 times 800 times cos of our angle, and our angle was 170 degrees. And so our answer is approximately 3215692.405. Okay, so that's the answer that we end up with. We got our answer for B squared. So this is the answer we ended up with our calculator. And remember again, we need to find the value for B, not B squared. So let's go back to our calculator again. And we're going to find the square root of our answer. So square root of our last answer. And we're going to end up with 1793,235. And remember, because we are rounding off to 2 decimal places, it will become 0.24. So our B answer will be the square root of that, which is 1793,24. So just to recap, what did we do? We used the cos rule in this triangle because we had this side, 800 meters. We had this side of the triangle, which was 1,000 meters. Okay, and we had the angle in between, which we worked out to be 170 degrees. Because we had side, angle, side, that made it easy for us to calculate the angle across, the length of the side across the given angle, which is what we wanted to find out. So we needed to find out what was the distance AD, how far the plane was from where it started, and the plane was then about 1 kilometer away from where it started.